Us injured. You come to us scared, and you come to us lost. But we pick you up when you are broken. We stand beside you while you heal. We help you defeat your fears, and we find justice. We are Foreman Watson Holtrey, and we are dedicated to you, committed to justice. FWHlegal.com.
ATTC Manufacturing in Tell City is a proud sponsor of the High School Game of the Week. ATTC Manufacturing currently hiring for hourly and maintenance positions and are offering a $500 stay-on bonus at 6 months along with a $1,000 stay-on bonus at 1 year of service. Apply now at attcmfg.com or in person at 10455 State Road 37 in Tell City, Indiana. Catch exciting high school sports on 102.7 The Game, ESPN Owensboro, courtesy of ATTC Manufacturing.
When bad weather hits, you can submit school and business closings at owensbororadio.com. Select the Contact tab at the top of owensbororadio.com, then hit Cancellations. Give us all the information about the school or business closing, and we'll spread the info to our listeners. Brad Emberton Heating and Cooling makes bad weather announcements possible. Your comfort is Brad Emberton's business. Again, to submit a cancellation or a closing, visit owensbororadio.com and click the Contact tab at the top of the page.
What's up, and welcome to Live at 5, brought to you as always by Foreman Watson Holtrey, dedicated to you, committed to justice. That's FWHlegal.com. Stephen A. Turner is once again not here because he's an habitual truant. Just kidding, he's on his way to his daughter's softball game, so we'll cut him some slack. But never fear, I'm David Clark in the driver's seat alongside my tag team partner, the immortal Coach Vic Evans.
How's it going, Dave?
And it's going well, Vic. We got a big weekend to recap, but I don't want to waste any time, Vic, because we got the man, the myth, the legend himself, the U of L sheriff, Mark Blankenbaker, on the line with us. Mark, you with us?
Yeah, no, thanks for having me again, guys. I'm really looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Mark, we got so much to talk about with the University of Louisville because, I wanted to kind of gauge the landscape, from your perspective, obviously having your pulse, being up there in Louisville. Again, you could catch Mark Blankenbaker on ESPN Louisville. I believe, Mark, tell me if I'm right. I know Eastern, this is where it gets funky because Louisville's Eastern and we're Central. So basically, is it from 2 to 5 Central time if they want to tune into the ESPN Louisville app?
That's correct. Yeah, on the ESPN Louisville app, or they can catch it on TuneIn or ESPNLouisville.com. We have it, 2 to 5 on Mondays and Fridays. I'm on the drive with Mark Ennis, and then Tuesday through Thursday, I'm in the morning show, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central, on all the same, on the Drew Diener show, on all the same platforms there.
Now you're a local man, as we got commercials trying to play over the top of us. Shut that bad boy down as we got trying to produce, do video, and all the above. You can catch us on the 102.7 The Game Facebook page where you can see our ugly mugs and more. But Mark, I wanted to jump right into it, Mark, as I wanted to kind of I want to get the pulse of the University of Louisville fan base. And we'll start on the football side, Mark, because at the end of the day, it's Scott Satterfield, he's completed 2 seasons. He'll be going into his 3rd year this fall. He's 12-12. 4-7 in 2020. I still firmly believe when it comes to football and basketball that just, I think you got to take the COVID year, no matter how good or bad it was, and kind of throw it in the trash moving forward. But tell me, just right off the jump, with Louisville football, where are Louisville fans with Scott Satterfield right now?
Well, I think it's a little bit of a multi-pronged thing, and I think that, had he gone 4-7 his first year and then 8-4 his second year, if these seasons were flip-flopped, there'd be the mood would be totally different, right? Where he was ACC Coach of the Year his first year here, and I think the South Carolina, thing that got out there with Jimmy Sexton in South Carolina and Scott Satterfield, the media in Bowling Green, hasn't helped him with fans. Now he'll tell you that he had no interest really in ever taking that job, that he's adamant about being here, that he's actually building a new house in Louisville that's about to go under construction. So, there's a lot. So, like, what he says is all good, but that doesn't help when you're at Louisville and you've You've lost Charlie Strong. You've lost Bobby Petrino. You try to get Jeff Brom. And so there's always like little things that are kind of playing into it. And then I think COVID really does play a big factor. You go 4-7. And then beyond COVID, the basketball team misses the NCAA tournament. So now pressure overall, starting to climb onto these coaches. And it's not all just football. It's basketball too. And because, here in town, we want a winner. Sure. And, you missed 2 postseasons, in the same year on both of your major sports, the pressure starts ramping up at that point in time.
So we're talking to Mark Blankenbaker on the ESPN Crunch Zone. And, Mark, it's Vic. And I was listening to Diener this morning. I was in Louisville doing work like I am every Monday morning, listening to Diener and Perrin Johnson. And, there were quite a few phone calls with the whole Goodwin commitment to Kentucky, Kenyatta Goodwin. Keontae Goodwin. And with Louisville not having any football commits, and, the big dog kind of dominating Louisville for the last 3 years, there was a lot of, it seemed like, angry fan base. And, and Satterfield came in and said that he was going to turn Louisville over to Kentucky, but really hasn't, done that, hasn't fought back in the city of Louisville yet. Are you also hearing that from the fan base about a little bit of angst about Louisville recruiting and Kentucky coming in and taking the city of Louisville by storm?
Well, I think most Louisville fans are probably just really annoyed by it because of, you have Rondale Moore in your backyard, and you say, well, we got Tutu Atwell, so we don't want Rondale Moore. Well, you can take both, right? Correct. And I think people are really annoyed. Bobby Petrino submarined the program in its 2018, and the city of Louisville had, an epic amount of players, and Purdue and Kentucky and other programs came in, and Louisville ended up with getting like one. So I think there's a little bit of scar tissue with that. On this particular one, I think that a lot of that energy is coming from fans being annoyed by their Kentucky friends. Their fans, the rivalry part of it. Because in this particular case, like, I think Goodwin's going to be a good player, possibly, whatever. We'll see what happens. But in this particular case, you listen to Canty Goodwin, Louisville didn't recruit him that hard. So, it wasn't like Kentucky came in and beat Louisville out necessarily. Louisville was like, that's not for him. And the reason why, Louisville's only got 8 to 10 scholarships for next year. They've got, so they're really kind of compacted, and they want to save some for transfers. And so, like, this is one of those deals where numbers may have had Louisville sort of sit this one out. The one that hurts is the Zane Michalowski kid from Floyd Central that ended up going to Ohio State last season. That's the one that I think Louisville fans really, really hated to lose. But, for Goodwin, like that, I think for Louisville fans, it's one of those things. It's like, why didn't you recruit the kid? Really, more or less than Kentucky came in and was like, yeah, we got one from you. It was why didn't you take him? And so I think it's hard for Louisville fans to understand, because normally you have a 4-star, 3-star player in your city, you recruit that kid.
As we're joined by Mark Blankenbaker here on the Foreman Watson Holtrey hotline here, 102.7 The Game, and you can follow him at U of L Sheriff on Twitter. Mark, and this is where, I got a lot in my head right now that I want to say, but I got to be careful because my son trains at Aspirations Gym.
Oh yeah, you don't want to do that. Yeah, you don't want to mess up where he works out here.
No. And Chris Vaughn does a phenomenal job. Again, former University of Louisville Cardinal Chris Vaughn does a great job. What I've kind of wondered, there's been guys. I know Dave Lackford is at the gym a lot. He's covered obviously U of L recruiting with the rivals thing, and I've always kind of wondered. And I know NCAA regulations, college coaches can't just go and hang out at gyms, but let's just use Aspirations, for example. And there's actually other gyms. I know Aspirations is getting all the pub right now because Keontae just signed with Kentucky and then the national thing and everything. But there's lots of gyms in Louisville, and there's so much talent. You take the Gene Snyder Freeway and that ought to be an iron curtain around the city. Aspirations is 10 minutes from Cardinal Stadium. I literally drive past Cardinal Stadium every time I go up there to have my son work out. Is the Louisville fan base just kind of perplexed at the amount? Because I look at, just for example, look at UK's roster. You got Jared Casey, Tate Crooms, Isaiah Cummings, J.J. Weaver, all stars from the city of Louisville. I mean, are Louisville fans just ready to I don't know, freak out at this point?
Well, I don't think they're ready to freak out. I think you hire Scott Satterfield, and you kind of have to kind of let him do what he's going to do. I think traditionally, I think you're right. You look at like the best Louisville football programs ever, and it's the Brahms, and it's the Bushes, and it's Devontae Parker, and Mario Uridia, and Rashad Holmans, and guys like that, right? And so, like, in where we've always been is in Conference USA or the Big East, and it's like, okay, there's a good football player in this city. We've got to sign him. Well, you know, and a couple times where we didn't, we really regretted it, right? With, like, Chris Barkley. When he was at Male High School, they let him go to Wake Forest, and Louisville didn't recruit him. And it's like, well, we need a running back. Well, that might have worked. Or if you look at Rondale Moore, you know, well, heck, you know, like, well, that guy's a player. Like, we'd probably be in the top 15 if we had Rondale Moore anyway. So there's a lot of regret with those kids that you kind of chose to not recruit. And I think that that's what Louisville fans are wanting to sort of avoid here. That sort of, you know, I guess regret of letting another coach let a big time player like this get out of town. I'm not sure if Goodwin is like gonna hit on that type of level. I think he's a little bit of a college project, and maybe by the time he's a junior or senior, like most college players, maybe he'll be good. We'll have to see. But if it comes to pass that like he's a Matt Elam sort of level guy, like if he's Matt Elam 2.0, then I think a lot of people will turn and say, you know, Scott Satterfield was right. But I think that a lot of Louisville fans are like, what if he's wrong again? You know,
what if he's Kyle Becton
is wrong?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. What if he's Mekhi Becton? And if he is, well, he was right here in our backyard, and we didn't really try. And so not knowing what he is exactly, I think, is a big part of it.
And for the record, I do think, and I think because of the progress he's made over especially the past year during COVID, I'm going to go on the record and say that Keontae Goodwin's going to be a first-round NFL draft pick, Vic.
Well, that's what we always say in recruiting. You know, hindsight's 20/20. But in the present day, everybody gets bent out of shape, whether it's good or bad, of who we signed or who we didn't sign. But on the flip side, Mark, I think a guy's done a great job using the transfer portal. Is, you know, Coach Mack up there at Louisville. I think him like Cal, maybe realizing that in the new age of things to do is you can get proving college guys that can fit your system and how you want to change your system and kind of remake your team in a hurry and be older in that transfer portal.
Yeah, no, and I mean, we just saw Baylor win the national championship with a bunch of transfers. So in Gonzaga in the national championship game with transfers. So transfers are going to be it's the next level, it's the next sort of iteration of recruiting. You're going to recruit your high school kids, you're going to recruit your transfer kids, and you're going to try to recruit your own roster to try to keep them to stay. And it's going to happen in football and in basketball. And just to kind of tie it back to football real quick, that's basically what Louisville, like I've talked to the Louisville coaches over there, and they're saying we're never going to sign a full class of 25 football players again.
Yeah, I don't think anybody will in college.
Right. Well, you might if you're Alabama or Clemson or if you're recruiting at the very top level, you can do that. But like if you're Kentucky or if you're Louisville and you have open spots, like it would be dumb to be at 85 scholarships and need an outside linebacker, and there's one sitting there in the portal that you can take. You know, so there's like this whole like numbers game that now basketball. Well, I think what you're going to see in basketball is what Louisville did this past season, what Mac did. Let Bobby Pettiford out of his scholarship. Let Eric Vanderheijen out of his scholarship and go and find transfers that fit your team better. And instead of waiting on these guys who really aren't going to contribute in 2021, 22, like go ahead and get guys who can play right away, give you more physical ability. Their bodies are more developed, and they're also veteran basketball players. And I think that's going to be a strategy that you're going to see, and it's going to vary. Like at UK, they're obviously, if they're going to get Anthony Davis, they're going to go one and done. They're going to go young.
Right.
But if it's a season like this past year, they might try to go and find more veteran transfer players, and so it's going to vary year to year. But that's sort of the next stage and the next frontier in recruiting.
As we're joined on the hotline here with Mark Blankenbaker, ESPN Louisville, before I get you out of here, because I wanted to kind of expound real quick. I know you famously tweeted out about, Chris Mack and, hey, the honeymoon's over. Got a lot of play, not only with Louisville circles, but I think with a lot of Kentucky fans set up and took notice of that tweet as well. Chris Mack, 57-28 at Louisville. even though he missed the tournament, again, I lump this into the COVID mess, just take this season, throw it in the trash. You go back to last year, though, and Chris Mack, Louisville was second in the ACC, set to have potentially a big tournament run before COVID hit. So, what's the gauge with Louisville fans and Chris Mack right now?
Yeah, so I think, Mack he's got this cycle where, April through January, he's hot. He's on fire. He can get players. He can win games, and everything's good. And I think he's done the right things with his roster here, getting Noah Locke, getting Jared West. We'll see how Matt Cross is, but you've got Malik Williams coming back. Maybe you'll get Carlik Jones. I don't know. But, the roster looks better than it was a year ago. The problem is, and the litmus test that's going to come for Chris Mack, is it now? It's not in the spring. It's not the off season. I know some fan bases really care about their off season and they really get caught up in recruiting and things like that. But really, when it comes down to brass tacks for Chris Mack, he's got to beat Florida State. He's got to beat North Carolina. He's got to win in February. He's got to beat Virginia. He's got to figure out how to make a run in the ACC and the NCAA tournaments, because to this point he hasn't done that. And we've won here in Louisville lots of high-profile games. Michigan State, Michigan, Duke a bunch of times. Carolina gave him the worst loss in the history of the Dean Dome. But when it comes down to the final stretch of the season, you're flaming out, and that's not what Louisville basketball fans are really used to seeing. So yeah, the honeymoon is over for Chris Mack, and so he's going to have to show it on the court and when it matters. He can lose in November and he can lose in December, but if he wins in February and March, all is forgiven, and you guys know that as well.
That's the big key. And before we get you out here, Mark, I got to know, because it's getting that time of year. You got a couple horses I need to keep an eye on between now and the first Saturday of May that I could kind of see how it's going before I have to place a bet?
There are, man, I tell you what, this has been a really kind of weird Derby cycle, because a lot of the upper-level horses, like Life is Good, are out of it. Essential Quality is going to be the favorite. He's Brad Cox trained. You all love him because he's a big Kentucky fan. But he's here in Louisville. And we like Brad Cox. He's solid. People probably know him from Monomoy Girl, and she's a deserving champion. But he's got 3 horses that I think are going to go in the Derby, and I think they're going to be his first ever starters. Essential Quality is your 2-year-old champion, and never lost. The horse never been able to run by him. So I think that the race starts with Essential Quality. And one of the horses I'm looking to is Highly Motivated. And if you all watched the Bluegrass Stakes, Highly Motivated and Essential Quality had a really great stretch duel. Looked like Highly Motivated was gonna be able to go by Essential Quality, and Essential Quality found another gear. I like Highly Motivated because this feels like, and then also you got Hot Rod Charlie. Okay,
I like it.
It's a Doug O'Neill. Doug O'Neill trained. This feels like a Doug O'Neill type Derby where, you get Nyquist or I'll Have Another, where there's not really like a standout horse. Doug O'Neill has gotten it done twice before, and I think those 3 horses, of the 3, probably likely your Kentucky Derby winner. But you never know. Maybe it's a Mind That Bird, type of year here.
Well, we may have to get you on, right? Derby week, early Derby week, to give us, to knock out the favorites as you get all the practice leading up to the Derby.
Yeah, we'll be out there on Thursday of this week. We're going to go out to Churchill. We may start on Wednesday. I'm trying to get the final word on that in the morning. But then we'll be out there every day Derby week, and I'll be going to the Kentucky Derby, the Kentucky Oaks, and I'll try not to get knocked over by the winner like I did in the winner's circle last year. I almost took a authentic butt right in the chest. That was close.
Well, that shows you how big-time Blankenbaker is, because I haven't got any media notifications for the Derby yet. I don't even know what's going on. And Blankenbaker's like, yeah, we got the passes already in the book, man. You big-time, Mark.
Yeah.
You're big-timing, man.
Not that big time, but I do like getting a pre-approved Derby credential application. I like that.
There you go.
Pre-approval, I already know I'm in.
One of these days, I'm going to be Mark Blankenbaker when I grow up. Mark, man, thanks for taking the time to join us. Hey, again, if you're in Owensboro, man, give us a shout, man. We got to get some drinks, so you know what I mean? We got to get it done.
I was actually over there the other day. I should have done it. I might be over there tomorrow night. I'll let you know.
If you're there tomorrow night, you better let us know.
Let us know, Mark. Hey, thanks for taking the time to join us, man. We'll see you soon.
Take care, guys.
Thanks,
no doubt
Mark.
about it. Mark Blankenbaker, ESPN Louisville. Man, it's always a good time when the U of L sheriff comes on, and a lot of validity in what he's saying there. I think there is some real concern, especially on the football side. I'm not completely sold, Vic, that on the basketball side that it's time to panic. I think there's some real cracks in the surfaces. Namely, you got to lock down the city in football
Yeah,
for Louisville.
I really think Mike has done a good job in the transfer portal, about like Cal has, and so I really like what he's done there. But I know they say that there's a limited number of scholarships, but we're talking about a top 70 offensive. We're talking about a top 70 player that plays offensive tackle.
Yeah,
you just don't let that kid walk out of town.
who has trained 10 minutes from your football stadium since the 7th grade.
I know.
Come on, Satterfield. Hey, we'll get to commercial break. When we come back, we got the Canty Dairy Queen, ESPN Owensboro Baseball Top 10 after the break here on Live at 5, 102.7 The Game.
You come to us broken. You come to us injured. You come to us scared, and you come to us lost. But we pick you up when you are broken. We stand beside you while you heal. We help you defeat your fears, and we find justice. We are Foreman Watson Holtrey, and we are dedicated to you, committed to justice. FWHlegal.com.
ATTC Manufacturing in Tell City is a proud sponsor of the high school game of the week. ATTC Manufacturing currently hiring for hourly and maintenance positions and are offering a $500 stay-on bonus at 6 months, along with a $1,000 stay-on bonus at 1 year of service. Apply now at attcmfg.com or in person at 10455 State Road 37 in Tell City, Indiana. Catch exciting high school sports on 102.7 The Game, ESPN Owensboro, courtesy of ATTC Manufacturing.
Hey, what's going on? Jordan Rose, your bearded Viking here, and with me,
I'm David Clark, 102.7 The Game, ESPN Owensboro.
and the reason we are dressed in our graduation garb is because we are wanting to celebrate the class of 2021 with senior shout-outs, all presented by McDonald's of Owensboro.
That's right, graduating class of 2021. Big thanks to the Owensboro area McDonald's for making all of this possible with all your favorite items here. You got the caffeine, you got the food. It's time to get it, seniors.
And the only way to submit a senior shout-out is by going to owensbororadio.com/senior shout-outs, and here is how you do it. It's that simple to do. owensbororadio.com/senior shoutouts, and you can put a lot more than just a picture in there, David.
Absolutely. You can do photos, you can do audio, you can even do captions to let everybody know all about your favorite senior in the tri-state area.
It's owensbororadio.com/senior shoutouts. This is all made possible, again, thanks to McDonald's of Owensboro. So when you need that caffeine fix or you need to get those brain cells pumping by getting some food, go to McDonald's of Owensboro. And again, congratulations to you, class of 2021, for reaching the finish line. Yeah, buddy!
All right, good job, hey. It's time to celebrate. Congratulations,
And the way to celebrate,
toss
by
your
throwing
cap.
the cap up!
Welcome back to Live at 5, 102.7 The Game, ESPN Owensboro, brought to you by Foreman Watson Holtrey. That's FWHlegal.com. Big thanks to Mark Blankenbaker, ESPN Louisville, for coming on, hanging out, talking some Cardinal football and basketball with us. We also want to remind everybody, head to owensbororadio.com/senior shoutouts, and that's brought to you by the Owensboro area McDonald's, because right now, Vic, you can put in your favorite senior's picture, you could put in a caption, you could talk about them, you could even upload an audio clip and we will be featuring all of these seniors on all 8 radio stations throughout the entire month of May. We'll be featuring them in digital videos as well. We are going to make sure that the graduating class of 2021 feels extra special, because I can't think of a class other than 2020 and 2021 that's ever been through this much stuff. We want to recognize them, and it's all done thanks to the Owensboro area McDonald's. All locations, again, go to owensbororadio.com/senior shoutouts. And now, Vic, it's that time. It's time to have a little fun. It's Monday.
Canty Dairy Queen, top 10.
It's time to get your favorite blizzard. Hop on the wagon here as we head to the Canty Dairy Queen ESPN Owensboro top 10. We're going to first start outside the top 10 a little bit here, Vic, as we're going to head down the Natcher Parkway, fake interstate, I-169, 65, whatever it's called.
69.
Is it 60? Is it 69? No, 65.
Is it 65?
I think it's I-165.
I-165. Okay.
Still the
Natcher.
Still the Natcher. It's Butler County Bears checks in with a 3-4 record. They lost 3 straight to Davis County, Muhlenberg, and Breck. They dropped out of the poll, so that's why I wanted to kind of let everybody know. I know, Bear fans might have been wondering, but we just wanted to let everybody know. But listen, the great thing about this poll, Vic, football, basketball, baseball, softball, it don't matter.
No, it's great for conversation.
You always have a chance to work your way back in, and or work yourself up, and or take a meteoric dive to the bottom of it. So,
hence, go 0-3 and you take a dive.
Absolutely. And the first team out in the ESPN Canty Dairy Queen top 10 is the Ohio County Eagles. Want to spotlight them, 6-7 record, because they were actually a really young team. We expected them, Vic, to probably struggle a little bit more than they did this year, but they got wins over. Whoa, did they get?
They got a win over Apollo.
I was just thinking I was going to pull a Ron Burgundy and am I reading this right? They beat Apollo.
They did. Yeah, it was a round robin there. Apollo and them, and I don't remember who the other team was. Henry Clay played a round robin, and they beat Apollo in that one.
That's Vic.
And then Apollo turned around and beat Henry Clay. Imagine that. That just shows you how baseball is a little weird.
They got wins over Apollo and Webster. This past week, losses to Henry Clay and South Warren. No shame there. Brian Tishner leads the team with an average of .379, while Jacob Gregory has driven in 8 runs. Ashton Ferris has been on the ace on the mound so far with a 3.65 ERA and a 3-1 record. They have Trinity tonight, Whitesville Trinity, not Louisville Trinity, in the 10th District Series with McLean County this week. And now it's time. Here we go, Vic Evans.
Now you're ready for the top 10.
To jump into the top 10 as we hit the 10 spot with the Tell City Marksmen. They're sitting with, on the record with a 4-2 record, down 2. They're 1-1 this week with losses to South Spencer in our Alaris Road Product Game of the Week. But they did get a win against Forest Park, who I believe is ranked in the state of Indiana, if I'm not mistaken.
It's kind of surprised me. Forest Park's a really good team, and they lost. I was expecting Tell City to like flip, kind of like that, to maybe beat South Spencer and lose to Forest Park, and they flipped it on me.
Absolutely, as Gage Munier went 2 for 3 at the plate. I'll say it right here in a second. And the Marksmen have games against Princeton and Washington this week. Be locked to our 102.7 The Game social media outlets, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We got Caleb Farkas working on getting us a game for our ATTC Manufacturing Southern Indiana game of this week. Also, going to have on video, brought to you by Dinger Bats. Dinger Bats, the official video stream title sponsor of all of our regular season video streams. I am stoked about that.
I am too.
As I'm sure all the baseball fans are. They want to watch baseball, Vic, as we'll move up to the number 9 spot. We got the Hancock County Hornets sitting with a 6-5 record, up 1 this week with a 2-1 record. They defeated Trinity, University Heights, but fell to Catholic in the All-A championship. Caleb Cowan, Logan Willis drove in 3 runs each versus UHA. In the win over Trinity, Hunter Severs drove in 4. Cole Dixon drove in 3, who's just an absolute stud. They have a big 11th District Series against Meade this week. But what I took away, Vic, from Hancock County is that they really battled Catholic well.
Yeah, I don't think the game was ever in doubt, but I thought they played well against them, and they got 2 wins that they should have got.
I think anytime, with the way Catholic is loaded, if you can play them just even respectable, I think that's a thing. Catholic's one of the elite teams in Kentucky.
They're a top 5 team in the state.
In the state of Kentucky.
Yeah.
So
and probably one of the front runners for the All-A.
It's a big up to Hancock County there for getting it done as we move up to the number 8 spot, as we have the Perry Central Commodores with a 4-2 record this past week. They enter the poll for the first time this year, and to the surprise probably of a lot of people, Vic, because they were preseason pretty high, I believe, in the state of Indiana in the Class 2A poll. They've won 4 straight. Wes Scammerhorn and Cole Hess combined to no-hit Crawford County. Reese Davis went 4 for 4 with 2 home runs, and then Reese Davis is, I believe, from the Indianapolis Star, if I'm not mistaken, is up for the Player of the Week in the whole state of Indiana.
He's a good player.
The entire state of Indiana. Reese Davis is tearing it up, Vic.
He is. I mean, you're talking about a big-time 3-sport star.
Absolutely. Saturday, they defeated North Harrison 10-3. Davis was strong again on the mound, getting the win and striking out 7. Cameron Bland had 2 hits. They have Cannleton tonight in a doubleheader versus Mitchell on Friday. I really want to get to Cannleton and see that stadium over there. I believe if Caleb, we're working on it. We haven't finalized it yet, but I believe we will be in Leopold Wednesday for our ATTC Southern Indiana Game of the Week video stream brought to you by Dinger. So we'll see. Keep posted, but I think this Perry Central team can go up higher, Vic.
Oh, I do too. I definitely do. I like them a lot.
As we'll move up to the number 7 spot, we got the South Spencer Rebels with a 5-5 record. They went 1-3 this past week, but they got a win over Tell City in our Alaris Road ATTC Manufacturing Game of the Week, but dropped games to Apollo, Providence, and Southridge. Colby Bartlett got the complete game shutout win over Tell City, striking out 7 and only allowing 3 hits. They have Castle tonight. It's gonna be a tough game. Gibson Southern, Tecumseh, and Henderson. That's the Henderson game I'm really looking forward to because it's another team that's local in our Canty Dairy Queen top 10. But I've seen this team twice, Vic. Both games I've seen South Spencer. Colby Bartlett's been on the hill. I haven't seen them without, in fairness, but
right.
when Colby Bartlett's pitching, this is a really good baseball team.
Yeah, and they're going to probably maybe want ATTC Manufacturing Game of the Week because they're 2-0 on the Game of the Week.
That's right. They won it every week.
And they just want every game to be the ATTC Manufacturing. But, yeah, they're a different team when he's on the mound.
No doubt about it. So we'll move up to the 6th spot as we got the Davis County Panthers with a 6-4 record. They are up 3 this week. Great week for the Panthers, 2-1 as they got wins over Butler County and OHS, but lost to the dreaded Bowling Green Purples. Decker Renfro has had a monster week. He had 7 hits in the 2 wins, and he also drove in 2 runs. A good multi-sport athlete, 3-sport athlete there. Decker Renfro. Hunter Payne got the complete game win over Owensboro. They play Muhlenberg tonight and they get the big 9th District games against Catholic and Apollo later this week. This is kind of a moment of truth week here for the Davis County Panthers.
Well, what you're finding, and especially in baseball this year, is because of the shortened amount of time that you can get your games in, a lot of teams are playing 4 and 5 games a week. Now, usually they're really good those first couple games, and then it gets kind of iffy, and you see some weird scores of who beat who because they're not as deep pitching wise. Where a team like Catholic can play 4 or 5 games because they have the deepest staff in the region. But I think that's why you see a lot of odd scores going on. I think if you look at Davis County, they started 3-0 great, then they lost 3 games in a row because they played 5 games that week. Then they won 3 more, and I think you're going to see this week them get stretched out again. And I think it's one thing you're going to see, that you can't look at just every baseball score because of the way everybody's having to tax their pitching to get 30 to 36 games in.
Vic, I'm going to put you on the spot because I don't think we've asked this question before. Through the teams we just mentioned, we still got teams 5 through 1 to go through after the break, right? But from the teams we just mentioned, which one of those teams has the best chance to work their way even higher up the poll?
Perry Central.
That's what I was going to go with, too. You stole the word.
Yeah, I think Perry Central does.
I think Perry Central's got an opportunity to make a run toward a state championship.
I think they can make it.
I don't know how far, but I know they can make a run.
I think they can make a deep run in like their sectional, and then you get on to the regional and make a run in that. And it's so different in Indiana because once you get past the sectional, then it's always 4-team tournament. So you can get by with just a couple arms, maybe 3 arms, 2 starters and a reliever. And Perry Central has that. So I think they're the team in that bottom 5 that could maybe make the deepest run.
I agree with you, Vic. We'll take a quick commercial break. Come back. We got teams 5 through 1 in the Canty Dairy Queen ESPN Owensboro top 10 after the break here on Live at 5, 102.7 The Game.
When bad weather hits, you can submit school and business closings at owensbororadio.com. Select the Contact tab at the top of owensbororadio.com, then hit Cancellations. Give us all the information about the school or business closing, and we'll spread the info to our listeners. Brad Emberton Heating and Cooling makes bad weather announcements possible. Your comfort is Brad Emberton's business. Again, to submit a cancellation or a closing, visit owensbororadio.com and click the Contact tab at the top of the page.
Hey, what's going on? Jordan Rose, your bearded Viking here, and with me, I'm David Clark, 102.7 The Game, ESPN Owensboro. And the reason we are dressed in our graduation garb is because we are wanting to celebrate the class of 2021 with senior shout-outs, all presented by McDonald's of Owensboro.
That's right, graduating class of 2021. Big thanks to the Owensboro area McDonald's for making all of this possible with all your favorite items here. You got the caffeine, you got the food. It's time to get it, seniors.
And the only way to submit a senior shoutout is by going to owensbororadio.com/senior shoutouts, and here is how you do it. It's that simple to do. owensbororadio.com/senior shoutouts, and you can put a lot more than just a picture in there, David.
Absolutely. You can do photos, you can do audio, you can even do captions to let everybody know all about your favorite senior in the tri-state area.
It's owensbororadio.com/senior shoutouts. This is all made possible, again, thanks to McDonald's of Owensboro. So when you need that caffeine fix or you need to get those brain cells pumping by getting some food, go to McDonald's of Owensboro. And again, congratulations to you, class of 2021, for reaching the finish line. Yeah, buddy!
All right, good job, It's time to celebrate. Congratulations, seniors.
And the way to celebrate,
toss your
throw the cap up!
You come to us broken. You come to us injured. You come to us scared, and you come to us lost. But we pick you up when you are broken. We stand beside you while you heal. We help you defeat your fears, and we find justice. We are Foreman Watson Holtrey, and we are dedicated to you, committed to justice. FWHlegal.com.
ATTC Manufacturing in Tell City is a proud sponsor of the High School Game of the Week. ATTC Manufacturing, currently hiring for hourly and maintenance positions and are offering a $500 stay-on bonus at 6 months along with a $1,000 stay-on bonus at 1 year of service. Apply now at attcmfg.com or in person at 10455 State Road 37 in Tell City, Indiana. Catch exciting high school sports on 102.7 The Game, ESPN Owensboro, courtesy of ATTC Manufacturing.
And welcome back to Live at 5, 102.7 The Game, brought to you as always by Foreman Watson Holtrey. That's FWHlegal.com. You can join us on our Facebook Live on 102.7 The Game Facebook page. You can see our ugly mugs. If you so happen to want to see our ugly mugs, we're right there on 102. I was trying to give them a countdown when we were coming back on the screen because they were watching me. Probably couldn't hear anything, but I wanted to ease the confusion there as we headed back from commercial break. And Vic, it's time to jump inside the top 5 on our Canty Dairy Queen ESPN Owensboro top 10, and we'll start with the 5 spot. We got a team right down the Audubon Parkway. It's the Henderson County Colonels sitting here with a 7-4 record, Vic Evans, as they went 2-1. Same spot as last week, 2-1 this past week as well, with back-to-back wins over Union County, but fell to Madisonville. In the series, Daniel Gardner homered and drove in 4, while Trevor Kellen had 5 hits and drove in 3. Garrett Allender had got the complete game win in Game 1 as they play Mater Dei tonight at Bossy Field. It's always a great venue to play, and they have a series against Webster and close the week versus South Spencer.
Yeah, I think Henderson is one of the better offensive teams in our area, in our top 10, maybe just a notch below. I would rate them maybe as the second best overall offensive team in the top 10. And so the better they get on the mound and the more length their starters give them, I think the better they can be.
No doubt about it. As we'll move up to the 4 spot, as we got the team down Tamarack Road, it's the Apollo Eagles with the 12-4 record, same position as last week as they went 3-2 as they got wins over Muhlenberg County, South Spencer, and Henry Clay this week, but dropped back-to-back games versus Catholic and Ohio County. Nick Judd was strong through 5 innings versus the Owensboro Catholic Aces as the game was tied at 1 in the 6th, but Apollo surrendered 6 runs in the bottom of the inning on the loss. Harrison Bowman got the win on the hill against a really good Henry Clay team. On Saturday, Apollo has 9th District games against OHS, Davis County this week, and tough games against on the weekend against Bowling Green and St. X. One thing about Apollo baseball that apparently has not changed since Bob Mantooth has left is a tough schedule.
No, it won't change. Coach, Mason Head, believes in that you go out and you play the best people you can play to prepare yourself come tournament time.
Right.
And they do that year in and year out. And I thought they played a great game with Catholic. I think what makes Catholic so tough is it takes an awful lot to go through that lineup multiple times. And, Judd gave him 5 great innings. But Catholic was able to run his pitch count up to, I think, just over 100 when they had to make the move. And I just don't know if there's an arm out there that's going to be able to go 7 innings and keep that pitch count low enough to be able to finish a game. Maybe the next time around, possibly. But their lineup is so long and they battle you and grind out at bats.
And we'll talk about the Aces shortly. But on the Apollo side of that equation, Vic, I noticed that it seemed like Apollo was in there. And then they had a couple errors. I know Mason Head mentioned a base running error. I know there was a wild pitch that led to Mundy scoring. So
yeah, Luke's the go-ahead run was scored on a pass ball, on a wild pitch.
So it's little things like that I think if you're Coach Mason Head, you go, look, guys, we're right there.
Yeah.
It's 1-1. We did this to ourselves, and then the floodgates open. And when you open up the floodgates versus Catholic, they're going to pour in the green wave over you.
They are. And Coach Head was, he took responsibility to it. He said he ran them out of an inning where he sent a guy home on a hard hit ball to left field, which is really hard to do at Chautauqua. And a good left fielder comes up and throws him out by 20 feet. And Mason took full responsibility for that, said, hey, I kind of ran us out of an inning. I can't do that. And those are the things you can't do if you're going to try to beat a top 5 team. But they're a team that, come tournament time, they're going to be a tough out too. I think that's one of the teams that Calicut has to keep the eye on.
No doubt about it. We'll move up to the 3 spot as we head to beautiful scenic Harned as the Breckenridge County Fighting Tigers check in at the 3 spot with a 7-3 record, same as last week. They went 2-0 this week with wins over Butler County and OHS. They have won 4 straight, have the Tigers from Harned. Cole Proctor pitched a complete game shutout versus OHS, striking out 9. They also had 2 hits and drove in a run. Breck has Grayson tonight, John Harden, and McLean also this week. I think Breck keeps their winning ways going here.
Oh, I think so too. And I'm curious to see how Proctor keeps advancing this year because I think what you're going to get out of Seeger, and I think Proctor can really help that team to really step in and become a big time number 2. And we're starting to see him make that adjustment and that move. And if he can keep doing that, then they just become better and better.
No doubt about it. As we'll move up to the 2 spot as we have the Meade County Wave, Green Wave is a 7-2 record. Again, same as last week. Not a lot of movement here in the top 5. I think everybody stayed the same.
So, they did.
Not a lot of drama here, Vic.
Well, they're the 5 best teams.
5 best teams, no doubt. As Meade County went 2-1 this week. Meade's lone loss of the week was against number 1 Louisville Trinity in a game, Vic, that they really battled in.
Yeah, they played well with them, and that was impressive. And I know Meade's got a couple tough games this week. I'm curious to see. That's a team I haven't got to get my eyes on yet. I'm gonna try to get up there and see them play a game because they're always that team that's kind of an unknown because they don't play as many third region teams from where they are, and so you don't always know a lot about them. But I think that's a team that can be scary come tournament time.
Absolutely. They got wins over Manual and Grayson County.
That's a good win against Manual.
Yeah, no doubt. But both of the losses came against top 25 teams. So, again, it just shows you the level of competition that Meade County plays. They play Collins tonight, and then an 11th District Series versus Hancock this week. That'll be one to keep an eye on for the Green Wave there.
Yeah, I mean, and that was, once again, just like in basketball, it's so important to win that tournament because it gets you an automatic to win the regular season because you automatically qualify for the district. You don't have to play in that one and done game.
Absolutely. It's time to move to the number 1 spot. And Vic, it's kind of like football season. It's anticlimactic. You know who's going to be number 1.
Well, they may be number 1 for the next 2 years, and if not, maybe 3.
They should be. The Owensboro Catholic Aces with the number 1 spot, 9-2 on the season. They won all 5 games this week, including an All-A championship versus Hancock County. The Aces moved on to run rule Clinton County. Little revenge.
That's the All-A sectional.
For that, yeah, that's what I was going to say, the All-A semi-state there. And the little revenge there for the basketball fiasco from Clinton County. Braden Mundy, Sam McFarland, Luke Scales, and Luke Evans all had big games versus Clinton County. I believe Luke went yard, if I'm not mistaken.
He went yard, I think, against Muhlenberg. Yeah, McFarland and Mundy went yard against Clinton County. McFarland to lead the game off. And then Mundy and Evans went yard against Muhlenberg County.
I know the Evans big play you could find on 102.7 The Game social media outlets. Again, if you ain't following us on 102.7 The Game across Facebook,
you missed out.
I don't know what are you doing in life. Like I can't. But anyway, they also got a big district win versus Apollo, and then rounded out the week with a run rule win over the Muhlenberg County Mustangs. The Aces have 9th district games against OHS and Davis County this week before hosting the All-A state tournament this week. Vic, that's just, I mean, at the end of the day, they are the most talented team in the area. Catholic is one of the top 5 teams in the state of Kentucky. And if you're Catholic, you're focusing on your attention to detail right now.
Yeah, and right now you're focused on, go ahead and knock out these 2 district games, and then you're trying to win a state title, an All-A state title this weekend. That's a tough tournament. I don't think people realize that the amount of good teams that come in. Now, there's been a couple upsets. Lexington Christian upset Danville, who was probably in the top. They're probably one of the top 3 or 4 teams, but Lexington Christian's a top 10 team too. They had to meet in the sectional, and Lexington Christian beat Danville 3-2. And then you've got Pikeville. It comes in with a big-time left-handed stud. That'll be a great first-round matchup, Lexington Christian versus Pikeville, which will be the last game Saturday. And then Walton Verona coming in. They've got the kid that's committed to Kentucky that his numbers this right now, 3 innings, or 3 starts, 3 wins, 18 innings pitched, 48 strikeouts, 3 consecutive no-hitters, tying a state record. So, he'll probably be going sometime, probably game 1 down here in the All-A. You're going to see some big-time talent at All-A, and Catholics going to be right there as maybe them at Lexington Christian being the 2 front runners.
No doubt about it. All-A is going to be a phenomenal event. It's going to take place at Chautauqua Park this weekend. We've reached out to the All-A people, haven't heard back. We thought about maybe trying to broadcast that in some way, shape, or form. Still haven't heard back from the All-A people, but keep it locked to our social media accounts. And also, as we're going to be live on Facebook every day, if you got any questions for us, be sure to hop on the Facebook Live with us. Ask questions. We've got several comments in there. Heath Layson saying, bring in the fire with Mark Blankenbaker interview. Also, Jason Deal with a nice comment. He said Blankenbaker's take on Goodwin was awful, took Homer to an all-new level. And I don't think Blankenbaker was saying that Goodwin was not going to pan out. He was just saying that he could be another Matt Elam or he could be Mekhi Becton. I mean, the thing is we don't know.
Well, and that's, I mean, if you go back, I think Goodwin's probably going to be good. I mean, that'd be my pick. But I think sometimes if you would go back 3 years and then re-rate not only the player rankings, but like you always see ESPN and 247 put out the team rankings, and kind of like drafts. Go back and redraft 4 years later, or go back. And there are kids that, I mean, just like in the draft, there are recruits that don't pan out,
right.
And there are recruits that were where it be a perfect example is Jeremiah Owusu or Cora from Notre Dame, who came in basically as a 2 or 3 star recruit. He's going to go in the first round. Josh Allen, at Kentucky,
Bud
who was
Dupree,
was a 2-star guy. Got 2 offers. What was it, Kentucky, and I think Division I AA offer.
Was it Rutgers?
No, it wasn't Rutgers. No,
somebody up there though.
Yeah, it was a school up in Monmouth, I think.
It was Monmouth.
Yes, and then he turns out to be a top 6 pick of the draft. So, in recruiting, just like drafting, there are some, there are going to be some guys that don't pan out. Matt Elam didn't turn out to be the big 5-star star we thought he was going to be at UK. And but I think, you look at his size and what you hear about his feet, I think Goodwin's going to be pretty good.
I've seen his feet, and they're incredible. They're big, they're fast, and he kind of frightens me a little bit. If he wasn't such a nice kid, I would literally probably run in the opposite direction from Keontae Goodwin.
What a job, Kentucky. You bring him in and Bingham in the same class.
Oh, man.
That's two big-time tackles.
It definitely helps lessen the blow from Gavin Wimsatt. There's no doubt about it.
Oh, yeah, this weekend did. They missed, But, what we talk about is, and I know it's tougher for Louisville to recruit the state against Kentucky outside of the city of Louisville.
Right.
Because the majority of people outside the city of Louisville that are in Kentucky are Kentucky fans. It's probably 80-20?
Sure.
If not more. But if you look at those, when you get guys that are in the top 10 recruits in the state of Kentucky, and you get those ones that are from Louisville, you better hit home runs there and not let UK get them, because they get the Binghams and the other guys from outside the state.
Vic, we'll get to our last commercial break, take you home on a Monday. We've got some Thoroughbreds basketball to talk about here after the break. Live at 5, 102.7 The Game.
Hey, what's going on? Jordan Rose, your bearded Viking here, and with me, I'm David Clark, 102.7 The Game, ESPN Owensboro. And the reason we are dressed in our graduation garb is because we are wanting to celebrate the class of 2021 with senior shout-outs, all presented by McDonald's of Owensboro.
That's right, graduating class of 2021. Big thanks to the Owensboro area McDonald's for making all of this possible with all your favorite items here. You got the caffeine, you got the food. It's time to get it, seniors.
And the only way to submit a senior shout-out is by going to owensbororadio.com/senior shout-outs, and here is how you do it. It's that simple to do. owensbororadio.com/senior shoutouts, and you can put a lot more than just a picture in there, David.
Absolutely. You can do photos, you can do audio, you can even do captions to let everybody know all about your favorite senior in the tri-state area.
It's owensbororadio.com/senior shoutouts. This is all made possible, again, thanks to McDonald's of Owensboro. So when you need that caffeine fix, or you need to get those brain cells pumping by getting some food, go to McDonald's of Owensboro. And again, congratulations to you, class of 2021, for reaching the finish line. Yeah, buddy!
All right, good job, hey. It's time to celebrate. Congratulations,
and the way to celebrate,
toss your cap.
The cap up!
ATTC Manufacturing in Tell City is a proud sponsor of the high school game of the week. ATTC Manufacturing, currently hiring for hourly and maintenance positions and are offering a $500 stay-on bonus at 6 months, along with a $1,000 stay-on bonus at 1 year of service. Apply now at attcmfg.com or in person at 10455 State Road 37 in Tell City, Indiana. Catch exciting high school sports on 102.7 The Game, ESPN Owensboro, courtesy of ATTC Manufacturing.
You come to us broken. You come to us injured. You come to us scared, and you come to us lost. But we pick you up when you are broken. We stand beside you while you heal. We help you defeat your fears, and we find justice. We are Foreman Watson Holtrey, and we are dedicated to you, committed to justice. FWHlegal.com.
When bad weather hits, you can submit school and business closings at owensbororadio.com. Select the contact tab at the top of owensbororadio.com, then hit cancellations. Give us all the information about the school or business closing, and we'll spread the info to our listeners. Brad Emberton Heating and Cooling makes bad weather announcements possible. Your comfort is Brad Emberton's business. Again, to submit a cancellation or closing, visit owensbororadio.com and click the contact tab at the top of the page.
Welcome back to Live at 5, 1027 The Game. ESPN Owensboro taking you home on a Monday. Want to remind everybody, be sure to stay tuned after Live at 5 for Spain and Fitz at the top of the hour, talking national sports here on 1027 The Game, ESPN Owensboro. But, Vic, it's time to talk a little Owensboro Thoroughbreds basketball as you and I kick things off Friday at the Owensboro Sports Center as the Thoroughbreds took on a really good Columbus team. I was really impressed with Columbus, Vic, as they came in, really just had it all. They had size, they had shooting. I thought that was of the two nights. We'll talk about Sunday here in just a second, but of the two nights, that was definitely the better game.
Well, yeah, it was really well played, fast paced. I thought, Cody Ballard came back to Owensboro and put on a show, scoring 41, almost pulling out the old triple double. Cody Ballard, yeah.
Cody Ballard was unbelievable.
He was unstoppable. Almost pulled out a triple double, scoring 41. I thought Owensboro, really dominated the third quarter and the second quarter. Get out to like a 22-point lead, and I think they got it to like 24 with like 2 minutes to go, and then you get that typical run. Here comes Columbus back, taking the lead, and then Javion Eves steps up at his two big free throws, and they get a stop, and then the man, the myth, the legend, Corey Wilford, drains one with two guys in his face from downtown at the just
From
before the
Smothers Park,
buzzer,
man.
with just 0.9 seconds left to win the game, and it was a fun, exciting, well played game.
Yeah, Vic, that was really fun. Is that was the Bluegrass Bourbon and Barbecue tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I know you and I. You can go to the 1027 The Game Facebook page. You and I did a taste testing. We had O South,
Mm-hmm.
we had Moonlight,
Mm-hmm. Old Hickory.
and an Old Hickory.
Yep, all of them blind taste tests.
Blind taste. We had no idea.
Nope.
I mean, they gave us 3 separate little trays to sample the mutton from. We had to pick, and the winner was Old Hickory unanimously.
Yeah. The guy with us also picked Old Hickory. So, yeah, but they were all three good.
Javion Eves had a big night versus Columbus,
29.
4-4. And Vic, Sunday, Disability Awareness Night at the Owensboro Sports
If you
Center.
haven't seen those uniforms, go to their Facebook page whenever they put them up, because I think they go on – they should be going on for the
They're going on sale. I believe they're going to do an auction. The online auction. If you're watching our Facebook, 1027 The Game Facebook live video right now, you can see these jerseys, and they're just phenomenal, Vic.
The puzzle piece jerseys are bad.
Man, I mean, just Disability Awareness Night. What a great cause! And Detroit comes in. They're shorthanded. I believe they had like 5 players.
They had some guys that I guess got up late, missed the bus or whatever, and just like.
I think they had some injury issues, and
then a couple still missed the bus. Because that's something Coach Anderson has said.
Yeah,
also. So
that's right.
He said, the bus don't, any of the pros, the bus don't wait on you.
There's no doubt about it. But it's a game where Owensboro trailed at the half, Vic. Against a shorthanded team. But I think the depth, and I think Owensboro, Anderson might have, Coach Anderson, Mark Anderson might have painted the locker room a little bit.
I'll give now. Defensively, in the third quarter, the intensity got turned up, and Davenport was a big reason for that. He came out and set the tone defensively.
And talk about, we talked about Corey Wilford just a few moments ago, Vic. 40 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists, Vic, versus Detroit Hustle. He was phenomenal Saturday.
He was. And not only him, Meshach was phenomenal. 32 points after not scoring in the first quarter, dominated the paint.
And the Thoroughbreds will be back home next Sunday versus the Flint United right there at the Owensboro Sports Center. 2 games so far, super successful. Local nonprofits are benefited. If you're not coming, I don't know what's wrong with you. We got 8 seconds. I'll keep it right here. Tomorrow, Stephen A. is going to be gone again, right, Vic? Mm-hmm. So I'll be in the driver's seat. Sorry, folks, but hang with me tomorrow, live at 5, 1027. We'll see you then.
Yeah, they had no answer for Meshach.